So I just got back from seeing The Incredible Hulk 2. I mean, Captain America Brave New World. No, wait, it was Falcon America? Guys, back on the cinema scale, today we are taking a look at Captain America Brave New World. Sam finds himself in the middle of an international incident after meeting with President Thaddeus Ross. He must soon discover the reason behind a nefarious global plot before the true mastermind has the entire world seeing red. The film stars Anthony Mackie as Captain America, or Falcon, I think Captain America, and Harrison Ford as Thaddeus Ross. We recognize that is because he was recasted to replace our dear William Hurt, whom died in 2022 from cancer. Our condolences. With that being said, the movie focuses on the life of Captain America 2 years after Falcon and the Winter Soldier series from Disney+. The president is under attack. Someone is trying to take his life, and that someone is Isaiah, so it seems. Sam goes on this unsupported mission to uncover the truth as to who really wants the president dead. So you have that going on in the movie. And then along with him trying to prove the innocence of Isaiah, you also have some of the president's demons coming up from his past, such as how he mistreated his daughter. And then there is that eeriness that comes from him running experiments back in the day and how people have vendettas or gripes or grudges against him because of that. And throughout the film, that's really what you have. You have 3 different plots going on in one film. One of the challenges about this movie that I found to be particularly difficult was the fact that the movie was not about Captain America. It was literally The Incredible Hulk 2. Right? So I would tell you, if you want to know more about the context of this movie, to watch Winter Soldier and Falcon. But the reality of the matter is you need to go back to the 2008 Marvel Studios movie Incredible Hulk to get context about this movie. The movie focused way too much on the life of Thaddeus Ross. You didn't get to see much of him do anything, but you got a lot of background about things pertaining to his life. I felt as though the movie was Captain America and the Red Hulk versus A Brave New World. Because there was nothing brave about the world that we saw in this movie. There was nothing to give us any momentum towards a better world. I really did not enjoy Anthony Mackie as Captain America. I felt like many of the scenes were cheesy regarding his role as Captain America. It felt more like a commercial or an ad campaign for something else versus that superhero that we've come to know and loved. And obviously I went into this movie unbiased. I wasn't going in there looking for Chris Evans because that's not what I was, that's not realistic. But come on, man. I mean, there was a lot of moments in the movie where he's having these fight scenes. They're totally choreographed. It looks like something out of the 90s Power Rangers movies. And then there's that dialogue that he had. There was a lot of, yes, sir, and Captain America is here to save your day. Like, bro, who are you trying to campaign for? The antagonist of this movie, played by Tim Blake Nelson, you'll recall him from Holes. Phenomenal, I guess. I mean, it's really not that hard to stand in place and speak with a creepy voice when you're Tim Blake Nelson. You have that eeriness by nature. So that was his role in the movie. And then there's a little bit of biography in his background that just doesn't do much for the Captain America plot. Okay, so technically there was a villain in this movie, but the villain wasn't for Captain America. I guess he would be like a villain adjacent. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm an hour into this film and I see what the posters look like. Like, if you remember the poster, it's like the Red Hulk holding Captain America's shield like this. I guess I could do it with my hat. But I'm an hour into this movie and there's no Red Hulk. I just see Harrison Ford being Harrison Fordy. I don't think that Harrison Ford was a great fit to replace our dear William Hurt. I think that his character, the way he portrayed that character, was just so foreign to us as an audience that it just made you feel like you were watching a totally different movie. I mean, sure, he had occasional outbursts here and there. And then there's that moment where you're thinking to yourself, what are you trying to get at here? And then the way the plot was cultivated in connection with the villain, the antagonist. Going back to Tim Blake Nelson, he plays. Who does he play? What is this guy's name? I wrote it down somewhere. Not even important. He plays a guy who knew Thaddeus Ross back in the day, and things just did not work out properly. And so he uses methods of mind control to get people to carry out his orders. I'm telling you, it was literally like watching The Incredibles 2. Like, I'm like, is this the mind slaver? Is that what we're trying to go for here? And then add to that dynamic plot, they threw in a new Black Widow whom has a height deficiency. And so I thought it was interesting that you have the Black Widow in this movie. You have Bucky, Winter Soldier, do a cameo. Apparently, he has some political status. And then you're throwing in all of these other dynamic characters. You're throwing in Thaddeus Ross' daughter, Betty, whatever that means. And she's the original actress, so I guess that was cool. But there were some elements of this movie that just didn't make sense. It didn't stand out. It was like, is this supposed to be Captain America 4? Or is this kind of like the Incredible Hulk remix? Yeah, there was a lot of that. Anthony Mackie uses the shield way too freely in this movie. It's crazy. Like, he's got this new high-tech suit, supposedly from Wakanda, and he has vibranium, but he didn't take the serum to become a stronger man. So why would you put this man up against the Red Hulk, who could literally obliterate him in a matter of seconds? Action scenes all over the place. I mean, we got, I guess, 2 good action scenes. We got some very cringy dialogue and then a lot of shouting. When I was watching the credits roll on this film, it said there that somebody had an emotional support dog, and I'm pretty sure that dog was there not for them in their everyday life, but because they had to work on this film and put their name in the credits. I will tell you this, that Captain America, there was nothing brave about this movie other than the fact that he decided to give it to us. I will tell you this, that I did enjoy Tim Blake as the antagonist. He did the best that he could with the circumstances. He did pretty decently, but there was a lot of CGI madness in this movie that just made me feel like, oh my goodness, what is the logic? Why is Thaddeus Ross the president? That was never in the comics, people. What are we doing? Well, after you get through the film, if you feel like hanging around in the theater for a post-credit scene, there is one, but it doesn't do much for your life. I don't feel any different from the beginning of this movie to the end of this movie. Captain America: Brave New World. How did this movie make you feel, guys? I know there was a lot of hate regarding this movie and Anthony Mackie and all of that political jargon, but if you can just keep that to whatever. Tell me how this movie made you feel in the comment box. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did it make you cringe? It definitely was a movie that should have been aced. I'll catch you guys on the next review.